beautiful Vienna, Austria, and it's lovely to be here. So, what is DocLoc? Good question, right? Sounds interesting. Maybe something to do with dogs. So, yes, indeed, it has to do with dogs. And let me just mention that this is a completely unrehearsed talk. I've never done this before. So, here goes. Maybe it might be good to start with like what I do for work. So I work at a company that does medical software. So software that is being used in hospitals mainly by medical doctors, by radiologists, and so on. And there I'm part of a small but very lovely team called the DocLoc team. So what do we do? So we mainly have two areas that we work with. So that is documentation, and the other one is localization. So we are 3.5 full-time equivalents, and almost all of us have a background in translation. So that is where the localization comes from. When this team was established about 3 years ago, I don't know what they were thinking, but they thought, oh yeah, it might be a good idea to actually put those two together, because in the end, the docs will need to be translated anyways. So what we do is, first of all, we get the user interface strings, and we usually do a review of those. And after we've done that, we start with the documentation. So because we've already reviewed the user interface strings, we know the product quite well, because the review usually involves a lot of questions, like what is the context of this, like where does this show up in software, like why is this here, do we need this? And then you already have a very good foundation of actually writing docs, because you have been asking all of these questions anyways. So then we also take part, like we also handle the release notes, so we also write those. And once all of that is done, here comes the lock part, the localization. So it depends on if we actually do speak those languages that we're localizing into or not. And if we have time on our hands, we do the localization ourselves, and obviously if we know the language. But if we don't, we act as project managers. So we work with a lot of lovely freelance translators that are very trusted, and help them scale our product and launch into new markets. So that's basically what we do. And why this is a good idea, I think this is a brilliant idea if you have like small to medium-sized projects. Like I think that for larger projects, this might be very, very difficult, because you just have so much work along with your docs that you can't even think about the log part. So we mainly have like small to medium-sized projects, and usually one person is capable of doing the entire doc and log part for one project, and has usually like about 3 to 4 products that they take care of. So this means that because we're so invested in and also knowledgeable in the localization area, maybe all of us being translators, we know that when we write, one moment, perfect, thank you, that's like how to write to make it easier for localization. That's a huge plus. And also it makes it easier to stay on top of changes in the user interface, so we can directly change that in our documentation. And last but not least, there are no arguments. And I think that's like the biggest plus point. And I must say, I thoroughly enjoy it. And maybe bringing Doc and Loc together could also be something for you guys to consider. Love to talk about it. Thank you.